Baina TV, connected to your world.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to Weekend News Update on Baina TV. This news is coming to you live from Atomic Junction, Benab House, Medina. My name is Sherifatu Ayuba. Here are some top stories of the week. Afenyo Markin's argument on anti-gay bill sounds, but voting won't go in his favor, says Ayimedu Enchi. Create disability-friendly environment in schools, says Dr. Nami. Yoko investigator exposes police CID investigator Prempe Mesa. Poultry farmers call for urgent intervention by the government to revive the sector. Details of the stories comes up shortly. Thank you for staying with us. We are streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube. Now, in our first story of the week, the head of Department of Social Work at the University of Ghana, Dr. Augustina Nami, has called on the government and stakeholders to provide more barrier-free facilities in schools to ease the movement of persons with disability. Dr. Nami herself, a person with mobility disability, urged the government to prioritize the inclusion of PWDs in society. She said access and mobility barriers made schooling more challenging for students with disabilities. Dr. Nami stated that schooling can indeed present significant challenges for individuals with disabilities, and access barriers can exacerbate these difficulties. She therefore implores the government to be intentional about disability inclusion, adding that the government must ensure that school environment was inclusive and safer for students with disabilities. She made the call last Friday when she inaugurated and handed over 2 disability-friendly ramps to Ganata Senior High School at Dodowa in the Greater Accra region. The ramps were installed at the school's General Arts block to ease access to classrooms. Another ramp was built at the school's dining hall to make access to the facility easier for students with mobility disability. Dr. Nami enumerated the reasons for undertaking the project, which included facilitating a barrier-free environment for PWDs so that they could also enjoy their natural and human rights like everyone else. She also stated that the ramps were part of a project she has started to build at least 5 ramps every year to improve access, inclusion and safety. Dr. Nami indicated that most of the funding for the project came from her own resources and therefore appealed for public support in providing more. The assistant headmaster of academic of the school, Wilson Kofi Lao, expressed gratitude to Dr. Nami for the donation. He also assured her of proper maintenance and regular inspection of the facility to ensure their sustainability. A student with mobility disability at the school, Gabriel Botena, told the Daily Graphic that due to the absence of ramps, my friends always have to aid me to get to class. He added that the ramps would make it easier for him to attend classes every day. I am thankful, he said. The chairman of Constitutional, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee of Parliament, Kwame Ayimedu Enchi, has expressed doubt about the success of Deputy Majority Leader Alexander Afenyo-Markin at Alexander Afenyo-Markin's attempt to block the third reading of the anti-LGBTQ+ bill. Afenyo-Markin has raised objections to a provision in the Promotion of the Proper Human Sexual Rights and Ghanaian Family Values Bill that could result in the imprisonment of individuals involved in LGBTQ+ activities. Parliament on Thursday, February 8th, approved a 3 to 5 year jail term for individuals who willfully promote or sponsor LGBTQ activities, while those caught in the act are to be sentenced to a minimum of 6 months and a maximum of 3 years. This was strongly opposed to on Thursday, February 15th by Mr. Afenyo Markins, who intervened to halt the third reading of the anti-LGBTQ bill, preventing its immediate passage. His action thwarted the potential passage of the contentious legislation that day. While acknowledging his support for the principle outlined in the Promotion of Proper Human Sexual Rights and Ghanaian Family Values Bill, the Efutu Member of Parliament voiced opposition to a specific provision. Afenyo Markins made a strong case against custodial sentencing in favor of community services. Speaking to the media, Accra, Animedu Entry says he does not anticipate the legislature supporting Afenyo Markins' stance. He said, even though Afenyo's argument is very sound, he will not have the support of the House since the sponsors of the private members' bill do not want to reason with anybody. Parliament is supposed to put the deputy majority leader's proposal to vote in the second consideration of the bill. This, Mr. Animedu Entry believes will not go in favor of Afenyo Markins' proposal for the removal of custodial sentences from the Promotion of Proper Human Sexual Rights and Ghanaian Family Values Bill.
Meanwhile, poultry farmers are calling for an urgent government intervention to help revamp the sector. The importation of poultry products amounted to approximately 868.8 million Ghana cedis, about 7.7% of total imports in 2023.
According to the president of the Greater Accra Poultry Farmers Association, Kwame Enim Somwa, the high cost of borrowing makes it difficult for farmers to remain sustainable amidst the increasing market demand. He emphasized the challenges faced by farmers who heavily rely on egg production to sustain their businesses. Most poultry farmers depend solely on egg production to sustain their business. Unfortunately, along the line, when you lose your birds and you are not getting any support from the government, it becomes so difficult to be in the business. He added that this is because most farmers have borrowed money from banks with very high interest rates. This puts the farmers in a very desperate situation.
When we lose our livelihood and there is nothing to supplement what we have lost, it makes it so difficult for farmers to continue working because it's so capital intensive to raise birds over a period of time. And it is because most poultry farmers do layers. That is, we depend solely on the egg production to sustain our businesses. So unfortunately, along the line, when it so happens that you lose your birds and then you are not getting any support from government or from whoever, it becomes so difficult to continue to be in business because already the farmer has borrowed money from the banks with a very high interest rate, which the banks are also pursuing for. So in such circumstances, farmers become so desperate and we don't even know how to do.
However, the Chief Executive Officer of GAPFA, Isaac Awuza, emphasized poultry farmers' commitment to boosting local production and reducing reliance on imports. He explained that last year, with the help of IFE, a German company, they acquired a 15 metric ton per hour machine that is going to augment the existing ones that they have. It further means if they were producing 3,000 bags a day, they will quadruple it to increase production.
Last year, God was so good to the association. We had more than enough. There were groups that came even from Burkina Faso and Gambia even to get some of our feed. With the help of IFE, a German army company, we've acquired a 50 metric tons per hour machine that is going to augment the existing one that we are having. So it means if we're producing 3,000 bags a day, we are going to quadruple it. And in that sense, we can go to the various regions of the country, and all those who are coming from outside Ghana who want our feed can also buy some. So this year, we are going to increase the production massively.
Poultry farming has become a crucial business in the agricultural sector in Ghana, playing a significant role in the nation's economy and ensuring food security. Recent statistics indicate that, as of 2020, the poultry industry contributed to about 16% of the total livestock production in Ghana.
The newly appointed Finance Minister, Mohammed Amin Adam, has asked the Ghana Revenue Authority to put in a lot of effort in order to meet its financial goals for the 2024 fiscal year. He emphasized that the GRA should follow a complex plan that strikes a balance between the unapproachable strategy and unwavering fulfillment of its mission.
Monday, while visiting the GRA headquarters in Accra, Dr. Adam reaffirmed his commitment to increasing domestic revenue. In order to keep the nation in line with its IMF program, he also emphasized the value of cooperation. According to Dr. Adam, this cooperative strategy is essential for maintaining the financial stability of the country.
The Asantehene Otumfuo Osei Tutu II has urged the new Finance Minister Mohammed Amin Adam to address the current economic challenges facing the country. These remarks were made during a courtesy call by the new Finance Minister and some ministry staff at the Menchia Palace.
Expressing optimism in the finance minister's ability to lead an economic turnaround, Otumfuo encouraged him to implement key strategies and measures for success. The Asantehene advised the minister to build up the initiatives of his predecessor and foster close collaboration with the ministry staff to achieve set goals. Highlighting the high expectations of Ghanaians regarding financial leadership, Otumfuo emphasized the president's confidence in the minister. According to Asantehene, the president has expressed confidence in Dr. Mohammed Amin Adam and has given him a mandate as a finance minister. He said although the country is going through economic difficulties, there is hope for an economic turnaround if the right measures are implemented. He therefore advised the new finance minister to continue from where his predecessor left off.
The Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Godfred Yeboah-Dame, has made clear that his office has not received any prosecutable docket or action regarding the murder of investigative journalist Ahmed Suale. As investigation is still ongoing, the minister noted that 4 suspects were initially detained to assist in investigation. However, the 4 suspects were later discharged on police inquiry bail after eyewitnesses failed to recognize them.
During a parliamentary session on Tuesday, 20th February 2024, the minister stressed that the murder of Ahmed Suale is among many pending cases. The response came after the MP for Medina, Honorable Xavier Francis Sosu, wanted to know the status of investigations in the murder of the investigative journalist and a raft of unsolved murder cases, including that of former MP for Ebuakwa North, J.B. Dankwa Edu, late law lecturer at the University of Ghana, Professor Yao Bene, late music producer, Fenes Ochri, and 2 others. Though regrettable that the case has dragged on, Mr. Damis said murder cases in nature take a long time to unravel as a good number of them are also unresolved. He revealed that the Criminal Investigation Department of Ghana Police Service is handling the matter, and as of now, no document suitable for prosecution has been presented to his office.
The Speaker, it is worthy to know that it's a matter being investigated by the Criminal Investigations Department of Ghana Police Service. No docket fit for prosecution or action has been built and presented to my office as I stand before you since the deceased died. It is therefore correct to say that the Attorney General is not seized of the matter. However, on being appointed Attorney General and Minister for Justice, the former Inspector General of Police, Mr. Opombuenu, paid a courtesy call on me on 29th March 2021. Being concerned about the failure to resolve this as well as other homicide cases, I inquired about the state of investigations into the matter. I demanded a report on the status of investigations, and the Director General of CID obliged my request and presented a docket giving an account of work so far done on the Ahmed Swale murder case. The information showed that the deceased Ahmed Swale was an undercover investigative journalist who worked with Tiger IPI. He was key in investigations that exposed malfeasance in some state institutions, and on 16 January 2019, two unknown persons on a motorbike with a covered license plate shot and killed the deceased in his vehicle at Medina while he was on his way back.
Ahmed Swale was tragically killed on January 16, 2019 by two unknown individuals on a motorbike with a covered license plate. The incident occurred in Medina as Swale was returning from a family meeting.
An Accra High Court hearing the trial of former Cocoa Board boss Dr. Stephen Opuni and businessman Seydou Agongo has been told that the docket the Economic and Organized Crime Office, IOCO, handed over to the Ghana Police Service to continue with investigation on Lithovit foliar fertilizer included the second text result from Ghana Standard Authority, which confirmed that Lithovit is indeed a fertilizer.
The revelation in a sharp contrast with claims by the 7th prosecution witness, Detective Chief Inspector Thomas Prempeh Mesa of the Police CID, who told the court under cross-examination on Monday, March 15, 2021 that IOCO failed to include that report. Chief Inspector Prempeh was therefore confronted with the IOCO's investigator statement, which mentioned the fact that a second credible report was conducted on Lithovit. The statement was subsequently tendered through Chief Inspector Prempeh with objection from the prosecution and was marked as Exhibit 75, only for it to be rejected suo motu by the then trial judge, Justice Clemens Jackson Honyenugwa, in his chambers while ruling on the submission of no case, effectively putting it out of reach of the accused persons. Meanwhile, the second test report in question was subsequently tendered on 20th February 2024 through Mr. Paul Ejay Jan, who led the IOCO's investigating team as the head of Organized Crime Unit and marked as Exhibit 133 of A2 and A3. The report is the result of a directive by the then Executive Director of IOCO, who instructed that a second report should be carried on Lithovit in the presence of all parties, supplier and complainant, that is Cocoa Board, after a previous test result conducted without the knowledge of the suppliers was contested. Interestingly, the CID investigator conveniently tendered in evidence the report which content was challenged together with another discredited report from the University of Ghana, leaving the second report which returned a positive result on Lithovit. An Accra High Court hearing the trial of former Cocoa Board boss Dr. Stephen Opuni and businessman Seydou Agongo has been told that the docket the Economic and Organized Crime Office handed over to the Ghana Police Service to continue with investigation on Lithovit foliar fertilizer included the second test result from the Ghana Standard Authority, which confirmed that Lithovit is indeed a fertilizer.
Moving forward, the Chief Executive Officer of Ghana Cocoa Board, Joseph Boahin Edu, has said cocoa prices are currently doing well on the international market, hence Ghana will experience a better picture of its local market. He noted that the cocoa sector in Ghana performed poorly between the period of 2017 and 2020 because the prices on the world market had collapsed by 30%.
Cocoa production went up in 2020. The prices were not the best on the international market, a situation that affected the local market as well, he added. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, recently said that the state-owned entity mandated with facilitating cocoa production and exercising export monopoly has long registered losses due to the absence of a systematic mechanism for setting producer purchase price. Significant quasi-fiscal activities, roads construction and input subsidy programs, and large administrative costs. The debt accumulated by Cocoa Board over the past few years became too expensive to service and had to be restructured. Appearing before the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament on Tuesday, February 20th, over 2 million Ghana cedis lost in 2021, Mr. Joseph Wahen Eidu said the cocoa sector is on the path of a turnaround. Cocoa Board's financial situation is dictated by the international market price, that is the world cocoa price, and from 2017 to the date in question, prices of cocoa in the world market had collapsed by 30%. He said in 2020 that is also when there was the highest reduction. So when the prices collapsed at the time there had been an increase in yield, definitely direct costs and inventory went up, whereas the revenue generated went down. That is what explains the huge deficit for that period. Essentially, there was a record production, but prices at the international market did not favor Ghana.
The National Petroleum Authority has suspended the sale of fuel supplied by the Chinese-owned Sentuo oil refinery due to alleged substandard quality. The authority made this decision in response to the request from the Institute for Energy Security and the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers for the oil refinery's operation to be stopped owing to suspected illegal activities.
Concerns regarding the refinery's operation without the required MPA permit and the purported distribution of inferior fuel to the Ghanaian public were raised by COPEC and IES in a statement. The statement went on to say that, in accordance with the MPA Act of 2005, before beginning any commercial activity in the downstream sector of the industry, any entity involved must obtain a permit from the board. Sentuo has not, however, obtained the required licenses for the processing and trading of oil, according to COPEC and IES. In order to decide on the next course of action, he also mentioned that the authority and the refinery are currently in talks. Meanwhile, the MPA stated in a statement released on Thursday that the claims made by the IES and COPEC regarding the out-of-specification products allegedly causing damage to machinery and vehicles were false and alarming.
And finally, the National Tenants Union of Ghana, NATUG, is demanding an apology from the Member of Parliament for Awutu Senya East and Minister of Fisheries and Aquaculture, Mavis Hawakumsen, over an alleged unpleasant statement she made to Ghanaians. The demand follows a comment the MP made during an interview with Onua TV on Wednesday, February 21st, 2024.
Hawakumsin stated that Ghanaians should be grateful for the rent charge in Ghana, asserting that it is more expensive in Canada. She said, people have been complaining that rent is expensive in Ghana. They should go to Canada for a month. You pay over 2,000 Canadian dollars. That's for a single room, not even a chamber and hall. The union, in a statement on Thursday, February 22nd, 2024, expressed dismay at the statement by the minister and demanded an apology to Ghanaians.
And that is how we wrap up. You've been watching Weekend News Update on Bena TV. Log on to our website www.benamultimedia.com for more news. My name is Sherifatu Ayuba. Enjoy your evening.
Kingani, football, what's the table? Lagi academy.
Saya kasih baca dah.
Kisah dan
Baca dah ni mana buat? Kasih baku skor ini semua mana bah? Skor apa? Ya, isu. A kowane lokaci aure ke zama shakatawa da zaman lafiya. Akan samun